All right. Greetings, everyone. Paul Van Wagner, Mike McDaniel on the Voice of College Football page on YouTube. Postgame for Virginia Tech, UNC, and I guess, Mike, Hokies win this thing, man.
Yeah,
Did you pick them in the pregame show?
I did.
I did too.
I did.
Yep. That's why Andrew Alex isn't here. He's out doing push-ups.
Yeah. Lower scoring than I thought.
Yeah?
Weird game. I thought the secondary played really well. I was surprised at Sam Howell, how much he struggled. Running game for North Carolina wasn't there like it was a year ago.
Right.
That was
right.
one of the keys to the game for the Hokies. I was surprised how it how it turned out. I'm losing my voice, but yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right. You were in the stands, right?
Was.
So I was in the press box. So they make us they hold us to apparently a higher standard.
Yeah.
The good news is I was sitting next to Big John McLaughlin and Luther Maddie.
Yep.
And so they were cheering a little bit, so I didn't feel too bad pumping my fist. I thought, you know what? If anybody's going to get in trouble, like they're not going to yell at John, right? So, right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. UNC's offense. I mean, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't know that UNC's offense didn't look that great. I think Virginia Tech's defense just came out and stepped up. We just finished talking to Dax Hollifield, and he was like, "We knew that this was going to happen. Like they believed in themselves."
For sure, they did. Front seven, I thought was incredible. I mean, all the attention was on Barno, so I thought there was going to be an opportunity for Garbutt in this game, and he was outstanding. On the other side, defensive line, overall, I was just surprised how the defensive line held up against a really good North Carolina offensive line, at least in the running game.
I agree.
Passing game, we figured that if Tech was able to rush with 4 consistently, that they'd give themselves a pretty good chance in the back end. I mean, I think a lot of people were expecting that. Virginia Tech's safety group was the group that was the most inexperienced, but I thought the corners held up well, as expected. But I mean, the story of the game was being able to get pressure with 4 on Howell. I mean, that was the story of the game, and then being able to stop that zone running game, which killed Virginia Tech a year ago with what North Carolina was able to do with Carter and Javonte Williams. So
well, and Tywone Garbutt talked about it after the game too here in the post-game press conference, and he said, that last year was kind of an enigma, and the fact that they were able to come back and they were able to play and they were able to have their whole defense, and just kind of bring in that juice. And then he said, he loves having Amari Barno out there because everybody looks at the 6'6" dude on the one side and they kind of ignore the little small defensive end. And he's wreaking havoc on the other side. You can't ignore him, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Garbutt mentioned that, in the post game. He was like, you know what, like, I'm good with Barno on the other side. It makes my job easier. And that was clear. It was really impressive. And, it was nice for Shamari Connor because, like, he's got a matchup with Josh Downs, who was really, really good for North Carolina. I mean, we were talking in the pregame about, all right, North Carolina, like, they're trying to replace these guys on the outside. Like, who are they going to replace him with, right? And then, we talked about Josh Downs and, like, the talent that he has, and he showed out. He was outstanding, I thought. And then, there were some other receivers out there who – some redshirt, Emory Simmons and he had some opportunities, but I thought overall, Virginia Tech knew that Downs was going to be a problem. And he was, right? But, for Shamari Connor to get that interception at the end of the game, a nice redemption for him. Like, he's struggled against Carolina.
He did.
He's had some issues, right? Like, and for him to get that interception at the end, I thought was for all the work he's put in and, like, the spotlight was on him in this game. He was going to be isolated and Jermaine Waller talked about in the press conference too, like they were going to be isolated one-on-one. And if they were able to consistently win those one-on-one battles, they thought they would give themselves a really good chance. And I thought they did.
Justin Fuente even said to us, that like he was a little bit disheartened. And so was Braxton Burmeister, that in the fourth quarter that they couldn't put Carolina away, right? But yet they kept rolling that defense out. A defense last year that gave up I don't know, Barber's in here. Mike Barber's in here. What did Virginia Tech give up last year on defense to Carolina? It was like
56-45 is the score.
Yeah, 600 yards.
600 yards of So, like, I mean, for this defense to step up, and I mean, I know Carolina ended up, I think it was 300 and some yards on the game, but that's half of what they had last year. So
it took them that 20-yard play right before half to get over the 100-yard mark. I mean, it was They were under 70 yards for most of the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah, and the fact that, you look at the way Virginia Tech's offense kind of ran, and I don't even know if ran is the right word for it. It was, because they ran the ball a lot. But, I mean, they were breaking the huddle late. They were taking their time. Justin Fuente even said that their goal, their plan was they wanted to keep Sam Howell off the field as much as they could, and they did a great job of it. I think total time of possession was something like 29 minutes. At one point, it was like 29 minutes to 11 minutes. I have the stat sheet here, and it makes for great video if I just sit here and look through the stat sheet. I'm just trying to find it. 34-59, so almost 35 to 25. So I mean, you had 10 more minutes time of possession than North Carolina did. Now, look, at the end of the day, this isn't the end for North Carolina, right? I mean, this is a team that could easily still go 11-1.
They'll be fine.
Yeah,
I mean, my biggest thing, the biggest takeaway for me with Carolina is they got to find guys on the outside who can consistently win one-on-one outside of Josh Downs.
Right.
They don't have a year ago they had De'Ami Brown, they had Daz Newsome. They don't have a second guy right now. Yeah. And maybe that's Bo Corrales, right? When he gets back, maybe it's Bo Corrales. But they got to find that guy. And running the ball right now, maybe, I mean, we're going to find out soon if this was more North Carolina's offense or Virginia Tech's defense. We're going to find that out soon, but they got to run the ball a little bit better. That was not very good tonight.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, but I think it will get better. It's funny because we did this earlier today, and there were a couple of people on the chat that were talking about, everybody's discounting this UNC defensive or offensive line, and they're going to be good. And I don't know that they're not going to be good. Again, Dak said in the postgame, he's like, I'll take my four guys, my front four over any front four in the nation. And I'm cool with that, man. I'll roll with these guys. So it may not be an indictment on North Carolina. It might just be, this Virginia Tech D-line is that good. Unfortunately for us, next week, we're probably not going to find out if they're that much better because, Middle Tennessee is not a power team. But 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
Got to go to Morgantown.
And, we'll know then.
But, for sure.
I'm looking at, Virginia Tech wins big games and openers, and they lay an egg. That's what they did.
2 years ago, Florida State. They showed up. Florida State didn't even look like they belonged on the field with Virginia Tech 2 years ago. But you're right. They do. They tend to wet their pants at a point when they're not supposed to.
Now, with that being said, they'll probably be a 2 or 3 touchdown favorite next Saturday. But you got to execute. You got to execute. And it's a tough spot for Tech too. You're coming off a huge win. West Virginia in 2 weeks, rivalry game, right? And now you got to face a Middle Tennessee State team.
You just got to not look past Middle Tennessee, right?
No,
Justin Fuente preaches 1-0.
Yeah,
that's one right there. Let me see. Is there anything on this chat? Because we can pretty much wrap this up. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It was a hell of a game. Great atmosphere inside Lane Stadium.
Unreal. I've been to 20 to 25 games at Lane Stadium. I don't have a voice. So all y'all out there, thanks for hanging with me. I don't have a voice. I had a voice pregame.
That's true.
Paul can attest to it.
That's true.
I had a voice pregame. I don't have a voice right now. Yeah. I'm hanging in there, but that was.
You'll learn doing this that you can't scream at concerts and football games. That's the.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we got to record this afterwards. So next week will be easy. Next week will be easy. I won't be screaming that was. Unreal, seriously though, Fuente was talking about and all the players were talking about, unreal atmosphere tonight in Lane Stadium.
I said at the beginning of the pregame show, 650 days. That's how long it's been since we have had a full crowd inside Lane Stadium. And you could tell it, right? We were jacked up during the pregame show. And there was
I was shaking the table.
Yeah, there was only 4 of us.
Andrew had to tell me to stop shaking. Andrew was on with us yesterday. If you guys were on the 24-hour live stream, you saw Andrew. Andrew's like, Mike, you got to relax. I was jacked up in the pregame, and I thought Tech had a great chance. I didn't see the final score of 17-10. I'll tell you that.
Really?
I did not see that. I said 27-24. I thought a little bit more high score. 17, I thought would go under. 17-10 was surprising.
So I ran into a couple guys in Hokie House while I was setting up, and they were like, we crushed the over. And I was like, oh, boys, that's a bad idea. And they kind of looked at me, and I said, listen, UNC's got to break in a whole new receiving core. Sam Howell's a hell of a quarterback, but he's got to make he's got to make candy out of poop, basically, you know, and not saying that these guys are bad. They'll be fine. Again, this is a team that could go 11-1 this year, right?
North Carolina will
they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I'll look y'all right now. North Carolina will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
They'll be all right.
No doubt about that. You know, but Virginia Tech's defense had everyone back finally. They had a full offseason to install Justin Hamilton's defense. They had a whole summer camp. They've had an entire fall camp. They didn't have any of that last year. There were times, Mike mentioned this yesterday on the 24-hour live stream, they had 25 guys show up for practice at times last year. So, you know, Wayne, you're right. Justin Hamilton redemption tour. I mean, that may be exactly what it is.
Yep.
But again, I think UNC is going to be fine. I like what Virginia Tech brought. I mean, we'll see. Like, it's a long season. You know, you got 11 more of these games. You got to, you know, you got to bring that kind of juice every single week. And you've got some really, really tough. You got to go down to Miami. You got to go to Georgia Tech, and then you got to turn around and go to Boston College the next Friday.
Yeah.
You know, and you know damn well the ACC network's not giving them any breaks. That's going to probably be a 7:00 game in Georgia.
No.
So you're going to lose a whole day there.
Tech's got 6 out of the last 7 on the road.
Yep.
So, like, this is not an easy schedule for Virginia Tech. And, like, even outside of the ACC, you know, like we mentioned, they go to Morgantown in 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, that's not an easy game either.
Yep.
Like, Tech's got some – they got some tough spots here.
Yep.
So, really good. I mean, really, really good win. A huge win for Justin Hamilton.
Right.
I mean, this defense was slandered last year.
Yeah.
By myself included, by the way.
Me too. Me too.
I was hard on this defense last year.
Questioned if Ham was the right choice.
I questioned if Ham was the right choice. And he, I mean, shows what I know.
Right.
I mean, hell of a game plan.
Yep.
They really got after Howell. I mean, Howell threw 3 pretty bad interceptions.
Pretty bad. Yep.
Like, it wasn't like, went through the receiver's hand. He threw 3 bad picks.
Yeah,
the one to Dax Hollyfield. What are you doing?
Right.
The one at the very end.
The one to Dax got tipped.
Yeah.
That got tipped. I think Garbutt might have even tipped that one.
Yeah.
So
the one to Connor.
Yeah.
Like,
that was when you're spinning around,
you're
just chucking the ball up, praying. That's all.
Unreal.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne, Blacksburg will be celebrating tonight. We're going to celebrate. This is it for us. We're going to get going. It's been a long day. Pre-game show next week will be on the main channel. Subscribe to the Virginia Tech channel.
Yep.
We'll be on from 11 to noon next Saturday, and then we'll have post-game after that here again from Middle Tennessee.
Thanks for hanging with my boys.
Indeed.
They'll be better next week.
Thank you guys for jumping on with us tonight. It's the voice of college football on YouTube. Thanks to Mark for letting us steal his channel. We'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.